Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. High Court case brought by Forward Guyana Movement against GECOM to resume Tuesday. Guyanese critic batters political opponent on live TV. Both men charged released on bail. Sought turn for Terminal 2 at CJIA. Cost shrouded in secrecy. And ALP writes GECOM over ballots posted online. GECOM says it's unable to confirm the source. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Monday, August 25 edition of the HGP Nightly News. We have what you need to know this evening. The Guyana Elections Commission is unable to confirm the source of a ballot that was posted online hours after polls opened for the joint services Friday last, a breach of its own regulations. Here's more. The Assembly for Liberty and Prosperity political party has written to Chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission, Claudette Singh, over an image posted to social media of a ballot showing how a member of the Discipline Services voted Friday last. GECOM, days prior to the joint services balloting, banned the use of cell phones in polling stations amid concerns of vote selling. On Monday, Chief Elections Officer Vishnu Prasad said GECOM has not been able to confirm the source.
We have not been able to determine how, when, or where those photographs might have been taken, but they are photographs of actual ballots. That apart, I am very comfortable that this prohibition worked. And I'm basing this position especially from the fact that we have not received expression of concerns from stakeholders that it did not work.
ALP called upon GECOM to investigate the matter and take the necessary action prescribed by law. ALP cautioned that failure to investigate this act would undermine its constitutional duty to administer the elections with integrity and transparency. It doesn't appear, though, that GECOM is prepared to act now.
I am not in receipt of any report that it was like there was any wholesale or any minimal rejection. I'm certain there must have been a case where the application of this rule might not have been rigid, and therefore someone might have gone in with their phone.
Asked whether the Guyana Elections Commission is prepared to further investigate a breach of its own rules, the Chief Elections Officer responded.
Why would I be investigating them?
It's your prohibition. Your law has been broken. So are you telling me that you only need an official complaint in order to act?
Look, this thing, and I hear you, and I'm tempted not to go in a direction of opposing your line of question.
Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. The High Court will on Tuesday continue to hear the case brought by Forward Guyana Movement, challenging the Guyana Elections Commission's ballot practices after the applicant's lawyer requested additional time to review submissions from the defense. Marvin Cato reports.
On Monday morning, Chief Justice Acting Navindra Singh presided over arguments in the matter of Crystal Fisher versus GECOM as observers from the European Union, the Organization of American States, OAS, and the Carter Center monitor proceedings. Present in court were at least one GECOM commissioner, alongside lawyers representing the applicant, the commission, and the Attorney General, along with leaders of Forward Guyana Movement, FGM, Amanza Walton-Desir, and Nigel London. While speaking to reporters outside, Dr. Vivian Williams, who is representing FGM, indicated that he has a logical case before the court.
You should ask them, where in the Constitution and wherein the Representation of the People's Act says that if a party does not contest a geographic constituency it shall not appear in the ballots, on the ballots of that region. And if you could find, or anyone could find, the provision in the Constitution that says that plainly, or the provision in the Representation of the People Act that says that, then we could have a conversation.
Dr. Williams told the court that while he could begin arguments immediately, he required more time to properly review GECOM's defense, which he had not read due to travel. He therefore requested a rescheduling for Tuesday. Attorney General Anil Nandlal, in his brief statement, however, indicated that the state is equally prepared to defend GECOM's interpretation and said it is in the interest of justice that Dr. Williams be given one more day.
In fairness to the applicant and to the process, the law is about due process, and every party must have a fair and adequate opportunity to present his or her case.
Chief Justice Singh, emphasizing his intention to deliver a ruling within the week, agreed and cleared the court's calendar for a full day of arguments beginning on Tuesday. This is Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, Forward Guyana Movement's presidential candidate Amanza Walton Desir has taken aim at the Irfan Ali administration, claiming it downplayed her calls for tighter migration control, but is now exploiting the crisis to score political points ahead of the polls. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
Forward Guyana Movement's presidential candidate Amanza Walton Desir has voiced concerns that the People's Progressive Party Civic PPC is seeking to use the Venezuelan migration crisis for political advantage. She said the administration overlooked earlier warnings about organized crime and only raised alarm days before national elections. Speaking during a Facebook Live broadcast, Walton Desir questioned why President Irfan Ali is now highlighting the presence of Venezuelan gangs, noting that for the last 5 years, she had incessantly raised the matter in the National Assembly.
Have been warning this unchecked migration is a problem. You have to implement a scheme of registration. You have to make sure that you can track these migrants. You have to make sure that there is a reporting function.
She further stated that instead of addressing the concerns at the time, the PPPC dismissed them as xenophobic and is now focusing on the issue in the context of elections.
Their only issue, their only aim is to hold on to power in this country at all costs, even if it means opening up the country and letting in migrants that they can later convert to vote for them.
Walton Desir said the timing of the president's comments shows that the matter is being raised now because of political relevance.
And no, 8 days before election, 7 days and so on, out. Irfan is now sounding the alarm as if there is this new discovery about the clear and present danger Venezuelan organized crime poses to our nation.
In response, President Ali, at a recent public meeting in her stallion, said additional security measures have already been put in place. He explained that Guyana must be able to navigate regional challenges by aligning with trusted partners committed to the rule of law.
Venezuela pose a threat to Guyana and the criminal networks operating out of there and anywhere else in this region pose a threat to us.
Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay with us. You're watching the HGP Nightly News.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where lighting and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. Powering your life with elegance, quality.
Did you tell him that Danny went to pick up KFC?
No, wait a minute.
Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Commissioner Rolfe Establishment. No job is too small or too large. We specialize in all types of fabricating machinery, excavator repairs, rice field pumps, and hydraulic hoses. Visit us at Lot 113, Block CC, Monrepo, East Coast, and Marara, or call 220-962-4, 629-4021, or 619-7880. At Commissioner Rolfe Establishment, no job is too small or too large.
Election offenses are actions that have been made illegal by law with a view to ensure that the elections are free, fair, and transparent. Some election offenses are voting more than once in the same election, voting or attempting to vote if you are not qualified to do so, voting in the name of another person, canvassing for voters or interfering with an elector within 200 yards of a polling station, removing or defacing a lawfully displayed official electoral notice or election materials, deliberately obstructing or interfering with the work of an election officer. Any person found guilty of an election offense may be fined and imprisoned. For some offenses, a person may be disqualified from voting in future elections. Do not commit election offenses. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
HGP Nightly News. On the police blotter, the police wasted no time in charging a lewd social media commentator with unlawful and malicious wounding of his political opponent. We warn that some of the scenes we're about to show you may not be suitable for all audiences. Here's more.
What's wrong with you?
And your mother. Watch. One touch. One touch, ladies and gentlemen, and he on the ground.
After battering his political opponent on his live social media program on Saturday, social media commentator turned government contractor Michael Rodriguez, known as Guyanese CRITIC, was charged with unlawfully and maliciously wounding Brian McIntosh. Rodriguez, who has a history of malicious assault, pleaded not guilty to unlawfully and maliciously wounding McIntosh. His lawyer, Bernard De Silva, told the court that Rodriguez has another matter of assault in court, but he's not a flight risk and is well known to society. Rodriguez was granted $100,000 bail. After he was released from the lockups, Rodriguez seemed to be ready to repeat his actions.
But I can't tell you how I feel or what I will do when I feel I'm being violated. I can't promise you that tomorrow somebody approaches me and going to violate me and I'm going to look aside.
Brian McIntosh, also known as Brian Max, was also charged, stemming from the physical confrontation. McIntosh pleaded not guilty to using abusive language and provoking both Rodriguez and his guest with the intent to insult them. He was also charged with breach of the peace. He was placed on $15,000 bail on each charge. Attorney Don Cush represented McIntosh.
It's a very unfortunate incident which was caught on camera. It was a live event, and his injuries are very serious.
The savage beating of Brian Max happened when the political candidate turned up at Rodriguez's studio and requested that CRITIC pay up his multi-billion-dollar debt to presidential candidates of the Win Party, Azruddin Mohammed, and of the Assembly for Liberty and Prosperity Party, Simona Brooms. Rodriguez subsequently invited McIntosh into his studio, and during an exchange of words, Rodriguez unleashed a beating on McIntosh. Magistrate Leron Daly of the Georgetown Magistrates Court adjourned the matter to September 15, 2025. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Dr. Henry Jeffrey, a political analyst, is warning Afro-Guyanese and other supporters of their Partnership for National Unity not to fall for the deceptive notion that they should not cast their votes based on race.
The PPP is solidifying their own independence. Why they are telling your race, oh, voting race is bad. There's nothing bad about that. Racism is bad.
That was Dr. Henry Jeffrey, a former minister in the People's Progressive Party, educating attendees about the principles of racial voting during a public meeting on Sunday in Pleasance, East Coast Demerara. The former Minister of Education accused the incumbent of racial, psychological, and political manipulation. To solidify his point, he alluded to the example of African Americans voting for former President Barack Obama and questioned if they were considered racist for doing so.
You don't follow them about this thing, about you can't vote for your own ethnicity. 95% of Black Americans vote for Obama and why don't you say they're racist?
Dr. Jeffrey, a former University of Guyana political science lecturer, in addressing the exuberant crowd of optimum supporters, encouraged citizens to not split their votes. He pointed out that the current government is using race as a hypocritical means of securing its political dominance. Jeffrey made a clear distinction between voting for one's own ethnicity, which he maintained is not necessarily wrong, and racist, which he defined as attempting to deny someone their rights. Jeffrey also alleged that the government has deliberately impoverished Afro-Guyanese.
I wrote a book on it since then. I said these people are impoverishing Afro-Guyanese.
He asserted that the government has capitalized on part-time employment and insufficient wage increases as leverage to demand political allegiance. The former Minister of Foreign Affairs said that should the Partnership for National Unity be elected to government, it must ensure that public servants witness financial upliftment.
Northland is cool when they get in here, must compensate those public servants. They must stay back to money, give them the money.
Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Civic Bar Jack Dio, has warned that Guyana's security forces are primed to ensure a peaceful election, sending a clear message that any attempt to incite unrest will not be tolerated. Jada June reports.
During Sunday's People's Progressive Party Civic PPPC political rally in Stewartville, the party's General Secretary, Barrow Jagdeo, made it clear to his supporters and the public that the joint security services are fully prepared to thwart any disruptions during and after the upcoming elections.
The security forces are ready to take on anyone who tries to disrupt the peaceful poll in these upcoming elections.
In his address, Jagdeo raised concerns over the opposition threats, particularly from the A Partnership for National Unity, Aubrey Norton, and We Invest in Nationhood, Azruddin Mohammed, who had allegedly warned of chaos if the PPPC emerged victorious. Jagdeo pointed to such warnings as part of a deliberate strategy by the opposition leaders to incite tension.
Norton said If I don't win, and if the elections are rigged, there'll be trouble in Guyana. And Azruddin Mohammed says, I did a poll, and my poll showed that I'm winning the presidency. I've already won in Region 1, 7, 8, and 9.
Jagdeo dismissed these claims as dangerous illusions and asserted that the security forces stand ready to maintain peace and order throughout the election period. Mr. Norton, however, did say that from all indications, the PPC has positioned itself to rig the elections, citing alleged collusion with the Guyanese Elections Commission, the judiciary, and armed forces.
Yes, we are concerned. We intend to monitor the elections as much as we could, but we also have sent the signal to the PPP that rigging wouldn't be accepted. There are going to be serious consequences for attempting to rig these elections.
Meanwhile, in a last-minute pitch to the electorate, Mr. Jagdeo questioned what the lives of the ordinary citizens will look like if the PPC is removed from office.
If you're Amerindian Guyanese, you think without the PPP in office what your lives will be like. You had a taste of it between 2015 and 2020 when APNU stopped the land titling program, fired 2,000 Amerindians, stop any development in those communities.
Guyanese head to the polls on September 1st. Jada Jew reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Jada, for your reporting. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Sevon's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call Sevon's Waste Management today at 218-1455.
Granny, what are you doing on the right of way? Like you're saying let the sunshine stretch your legs. Sunshine? Look, forget I ask. You know you're not supposed to be on the right of way, Granny. But I am digging, building, burning, or planting. No horse in the wrong, no horse riding, or nothing for doing horses. But Sunshine? But you and Sunshine get out the right of way. Sunshine, a bit glad. Good.
The moment is coming. He has the ball. Will he make the shot? And he made it! Goal! This is the biggest win we've seen in ages. Feel the rush with every bet and win big. Play online at www.ibetgamesui.com.
With iBet Supreme, every game is your game. iBet to win with iBet Supreme.
Must be 18 years and older to bet.
Did you tell him that Danny went to pick up KFC?
No, wait a minute. Are we really not going to tell him we already have KFC?
A tasty dinner shouldn't be that complicated. Crunch the routine and order a delicious KFC bucket for the best price. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Monday, September 1, 2025 is Election Day. At the general election, electors will vote to elect the President and 65 members of the National Assembly. And at the regional election, electors will vote to elect members of the 10 regional democratic councils. Check the official list of electors that is being displayed at 2 prominent places in your area to ensure that you are correctly listed. It is your constitutional right and your civic duty to vote at the upcoming general and regional elections, providing you are listed in the official list of electors. Vote early on election day. For more information, contact the GECOM on 2250-277-9 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
HGP Nightly News, welcome back. We tell you now that Guyana has taken another major step in expanding its aviation sector as the sod was officially turned for the Chedijagan International Airport Terminal 2. Although the cost of the project is shrouded in secrecy, government officials say it is designed to transform the country's aviation ecosystem, boost tourism, and position Guyana as a global hub for air travel. Find out more from Tiana Cole.
The sod was officially turned on Monday for Terminal 2 at the Chedijagan International Airport, CJIA. In delivering a feature address, President Irfan Ali said the initiative goes beyond just constructing another terminal. He emphasized that the project is about creating a global-scale aviation ecosystem.
Our objective is to have a first-class aviation school in Guyana.
The president noted that while planning for the new terminal was timely and much effort placed in it, the vision is not just about erecting a structure, but about delivering an experience and a story.
We have to have a terminal that can process thousands of people within 72 hours. Why? Because we're going to build a world-class arena to host international events here.
Meanwhile, Minister of Public Works Juan Egil highlighted the growth in passenger numbers, cargo, and direct flights out of Guyana. He said, the development of a second terminal is therefore both timely and necessary.
The world is coming to Guyana, and Guyana is preparing for the world. The business lounges for business travel will be in Terminal 2. There will be more concession areas. We're talking about more space, more facilities, ready, speedier access to people arriving in country.
Minister of Tourism Munij Walron also underscored that the sod turning reflects the rapid pace of growth in the tourism sector.
From this period to last year, we have increased 18% in our visitor arrivals.
During the 2025 national budget presentation, Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance and public service, Dr. Ashni Singh, announced that the government would invest approximately $7 billion to commence the construction of the new world-class terminal at CJIA. According to him, the project is expected to significantly enhance the airport's capacity and operational efficiency. Tiana reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Tabitha Sarabo Hani, a candidate for the We Invest in Nationhood WIN party, frontally defended her party and its presidential candidate in their election pursuits on the podcast Sources at the weekend. Marvin Cato reports.
Coming into the 2025 elections, there was a sense that there were some leadership gaps and persons were not feeling as though there was a lot of pushback to what was happening in government.
That was Tabitha Sarbo Haley, a We Invest in Nationhood WIN candidate on Sources at the weekend. Sarbo Haley, widely seen by many pundits as the party's prime ministerial candidate, was candid on the podcast and boldly addressed reasons the party agenda is well received by a wide cross-section of Guyanese.
Something changed in the society. The people began to speak. They were looking for someone that would understand their plight, and that they believed understood where they were coming from and would fight for them. And the people chose a movement. And I felt that it was my, what I could do was to assist the people in ensuring that their views and their dreams of what could possibly happen in Guyana be fulfilled. And because of that, I decided to join the WIN movement.
In explaining the reason for throwing her support behind WIN, Sarbo Haley carefully noted that she was moved by the genuine love shown and received to and from the presidential candidate, and she believes her joining the movement would only bolster its chances of a win in the general and regional elections.
To be quite frank, the presidential candidate of the WIN movement has been doing a lot of humanitarian work for a very long time. It has not been just over the last year. I can actually say he has put a pause since he became the presidential candidate for fear of people thinking that he is trying to bribe persons.
The We Invest in Nationhood WIN party has come in for some harsh criticisms from the incumbent, and it appears it has ramped up its efforts to discredit the party. The party's presidential candidate and other members have repeatedly said they will be relentless in their defense of Guyanese. Meanwhile, Guyanese head to the polls in 6 days on September 1. This is Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
We tell you now that in wake of financial constraints that many law students face who are pursuing higher education abroad, a Partnership for National Unity's presidential candidate Aubrey Norton says his government will fully cover tuition fees for such students.
In acknowledgement of the financial difficulties faced by many law students who are pursuing their studies abroad, Aubrey Norton, the presidential candidate for the Partnership for National Unity, said that once elected to office, after the September 1 polls, those eligible persons will receive full government sponsorship.
As a government, any child that is qualified and gets into Trinidad, UWI, we are going to pay for their law program.
Mr. Norton noted that there are persons who completed their Bachelor of Laws degree at the University of Guyana, but were and are unable to attend the Hugh Wooding Law School in Trinidad due to financial challenges. The politician said that when the former David Granger government came into office in 2015, the scholarship program for law students were restored, but this was disbanded when the Ali-led regime assumed office in 2020.
Many of our bright children are deprived of becoming lawyers. For us, it is discriminatory and it must end. We want to see the people of this country develop.
One law student, when contacted by this newscast, welcomed APNU's proposed plan to support students who will be studying at Hugh Wooding Law School. And I quote, "For me, this hits home. My father, like so many other parents, cannot carry this kind of financial responsibility alone. And I know the weight it puts on families," the young woman who preferred anonymity said. She added, and I quote, "This initiative is a relief and it takes a huge burden off of students like me. It is more than just paying tuition. APNU understands the struggle families face and is investing in young people," end of quote. Another student suggested focusing on establishing Guyanese Law School while financing students in the meantime. Turning attention to another aspect of educational development, Mr. Norton also vowed the restoration of the night school, which was disbanded by the current regime.
We created about 10 night schools in this country, and when the PPP came to power, they closed them down. Anything to help poor people, there is destroyed.
APNU's manifesto promises a monthly stipend of $50,000 for technical institute and university students and aims to establish a national youth investment fund for grants and low-interest loans. Youth will receive training in leadership, civic responsibility, family planning, and financial literacy. LaShonda Ellis, a 26-year-old newcomer to politics, expressed her passion for youth empowerment and enthusiasm for contributing to her country's holistic development. Ellis related that Mr. Aubrey Norton's leadership and vision for the youth were among the reasons why she supports the party. Antonio, reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Antonio. A massive fire has destroyed the main building that housed the Kokwani Secondary School located in Region 10. While the community is shaken by the loss, some parts of the compound were spared, giving students hope of resuming classes soon.
A pre-dawn fire on Sunday has devastated the Kokwani Secondary School in Region 10, reducing its main one-story structure in Padfield to ashes. The blaze, which erupted around 3:40 a.m., left the heart of the school in ruins and will likely to disrupt the education of hundreds of students who now face uncertainty about where their classes will be held. Despite the widespread destruction, not all was lost. The Technical and Industrial Arts Block, the Science Laboratory, and the Economics Department were untouched by the flames. Following the fire, Minister of Public Works Juan Hedgel said life must go on for the students, teachers, and the community at large.
What is the cause of that fire?
is regrettable. Children needs to be served. Our community needs to be served.
In addition, a recent constructed building on the compound survived and once cleared is expected to temporarily accommodate students. The fire has deeply affected residents of the Upper Berbice River area, many of whom see the school as a cornerstone of their community. Meanwhile, police have since launched a probe into the cause of the blaze, while the Ministry of Education and regional officials are working urgently to develop solutions that will ensure that students' learning continues with minimal disruptions.
As of September 1st, we'll rebuild the Kokwani Secondary School, and this will be done speedily. So parents, students, community of Kokwani, please be assured your pain, your suffering, and your loss will be remedied swiftly.
The Ministry of Education further assures all stakeholders involved that the Kokwani Secondary School will be promptly restored to current and higher standards, and that plans for the students will be in place by the final week of September 2025. Jada June reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for your regional news.
Live the island dream. It's your chance to be one of over 100 winners in the Island Dream promotion. Win your share of more than $1 million in cash and prizes, plus 2 all-inclusive weekend staycations for 2. And that's not all. Score coolers packed with Buster, Turbo, Altitude, and Viva. Just buy any can or bottle of Turbo, Buster, Altitude, or Viva. Find the code starting with BB, then visit at Buster Guyana or Turbo_Caribbean on IG or Facebook for details. Live the island dream, get money. Live the island dream.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment you've been waiting for. Step right up because it's time for Digicel's $12 million punch and win. Top up with just $1,000 or more for a shot at winning up to $2 million weekly. That's right, up to $2 million weekly. 6 weeks, $2 million per week. Will you be one of our lucky winners? There's only one way to find out. Top up, punch, and win. Only with Digicel. Digicel, better connected.
Granny, what you doing on the right of way? Like you're saying let the sunshine stretch your legs. Sunshine? Look, forget I ask. You know you're not supposed to be on the right of way, Granny. But I am digging, building, burning, or planting. No horsing wrong, no horse riding, or nothing for doing horses. But sunshine? But you and sunshine get out the right of way. Sunshine, I'll be glad. Good.
More than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
What's going on here, man? Why do the two of y'all look so gloomy?
Uncle Joe, you know thief man been in the house and thief all the valuables, including the ID card. Now election come around and we want to go vote. We ain't get no ID card to identify ourselves. Now we can't go vote.
Well, you need to apply to GECOM to have your ID cards replaced. But you need not worry that you won't be able to vote because you don't have your ID cards. GECOM has put other measures in place to accurately identify voters like you who may not have the ID cards.
Well, how they gonna do that? How they gonna know is we name on the list if we don't have ID to prove it?
In addition to your ID card, voters can present their valid passports or valid driver's license if they have these.
Really?
But further, GECOM has placed your photograph alongside your name on a folio which will be at the polling station. And if you go to the polling station without a photo ID, you will be asked to state your name and address. The elections official will look at your face and then compare it with the photo alongside your name on the folio to confirm that they are the same. Then you'll have to answer some questions to verify your identity.
If the election official is satisfied that you are the person who you claim to be, you will be allowed to vote after taking an oath of identity.
So you get to vote?
For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-02779 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Good evening and welcome to Monday's edition of the Regional News. Former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has broken his silence on Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar's surprise weekend announcement that our government supports the presence of United States warship in the Caribbean and would even allow them access to Trinidad and Tobago soil if Venezuela were to attack Guyana. In a strongly worded Facebook post, Rowley accused Persad-Bissessar of setting aside decades of carefully cultivated regional foreign policy and aligning Port of Spain with Washington's quote-unquote Monroe Doctrine playbook. He recalled a series of diplomatic interventions in 2019 when CARICOM leaders resisted external military threats by advocating dialogue and mediation. As Brazil's Supreme Court prepares for closing arguments next week in the trial of former President Jair Bolsonaro over an alleged coup plot, the former army captain and his political coalition show signs of unraveling. Allies who have visited the far-right fire band now under house arrest in a gated Brazilian community say they saw Bolsonaro battling bouts of sadness, hiccup attacks, and a fixation on the judge he blames for his troubles. The steadfast ally of U.S. President Donald Trump was hit with fresh turmoil this week when federal police released a cache of private messages portraying him as a hesitant leader, second-guessing himself and struggling to contain the infighting among his close allies. The messages were released as part of an investigation into the former president and his son, lawmaker Eduardo Bolsonaro, who was leading a campaign in Washington urging the Trump administration to intervene on behalf of his father. Regional security expert Dr. Garvin Hero says, with United States warship bound for the region with a mandate to tackle drug cartels in neighboring Venezuela, the government must now strategize on the next step should things get worse. Hero said while the presence of naval ships in the region was not new, the tension between Venezuela and the U.S. may cause some to be concerned. With that, he said, the leader should have a plan should a routine presence change to a conflict zone. After the announcement that naval ships were deployed to the region, Venezuela has been enlisting people into the country's militia in the event a need arises to defend their land. The combination of events raised concerns that conflict may erupt. Hero said this should be looked at objectively. Thank you for watching. I am Tiana Cole.
ALP writes GECOM over ballots posted online. GECOM says it's unable to confirm the source. High Court case brought by FGM against GECOM to resume Tuesday. Decision can be handed down before the end of the week, says the Chief Justice. Guyanese critic batters political opponent on live TV. Both men charged, released on bail, and sought turn for Terminal 2 at CJIA, cost shrouded in secrecy. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.